on the Drip Podcast.
G'day, champ. I was looking for some winners.
Sure thing. Please hold.
Moses won the 10,000 from Powlali.
Away goes Animo in the Rosehill Guinea.
But Home Affairs has made a mess of them.
Coming through is Fireburn with a big one off the fence. I'm thunderstruck, went boom over the top. Nature Strip clings on. He's king of the mountain this time.
Thanks for waiting. No guarantees, but we'll see what we can do.
Sounds about right.
Does sound about right.
What a fall from grace. Oh,
Oops.
no.
Oopsies.
I think we need some smaller size boots because I tell you what, we were asking for some bigger boots last week. Let's cancel that order.
What I will say is, if you're relying on us for your horse racing tips, what are you doing? Honestly.
Oh, if you're relying on us for, genuine tips and not a laugh, you're in licorice, all sorts.
Well, our track record would suggest that, we're probably not backing as many winners as a horse racing podcast should be.
Yeah, but who needs history? We're carving our own path.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, there has been some diamonds amongst the rough previously.
Oh, without a doubt. There's been some absolute bangers. And we'll just hang our hat on them.
Yeah.
And if we never pick another winner,
So be it.
so be it. Hey, we're just having a bit of fun. We're just like you, drifters. We're just a couple of battlers who love horse racing and occasionally pick a winner.
Yes. If I was to put it in, well, it's footy finals, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's the business end from their standpoint, not from us.
Oh, God, no.
No.
We're just getting started.
I've said it many times on this podcast before. Premierships are not won in this case, August. They're not.
No, they're not. Our grand final is Derby Day.
Yeah.
And as long as our radar is close on that day, then we're happy, man.
100%. I believe, and I took my words straight back after the first podcast, but I was like, it's going to take me a few weeks to get into the swing of things. And after, we had a genuine, well, to be fair, I took one winner. You tipped a couple. So I was riding on your coattails a bit, but that's fine.
That's fine. We're a partnership, mate. A good result for the podcast is a good result for the podcast. Let me say it that way. And if we got any hate mail over the weekend for people following our tips, why would you follow Jewis as a tip in the Wink Stakes? Not the Wink Stakes, the Memsey. Jeez.
Well,
mate, she rattled home fast as the last 200 metres, which realistically, as soon as she was at the back of the field, I was like, she's not going to win. But, it is what it is.
you made a good case for her. I think she went in a lot more quaddies after what you said. And, that it's insurance, mate. It's insurance.
Perhaps.
And those Group 1s where they're first or maybe second up, they're just tough. They're super tough. And there's no Group 1 racing this weekend, but there's a ton of similar type of races. Like, it is just tough bickies, mate.
100%. Things first up off a spell. 2-year-olds coming back as 3-year-olds. Does the form necessarily hold?
No.
We don't know. Well, no, not from what we saw on the weekend.
Who knows?
I don't.
I have no idea. Those now 3-year-olds, they're just chopping and changing. And Fireburn is not looking like an athlete at this stage.
No, she's not. She's looking very leisurely.
Yeah.
Very leisurely.
She looks like she's like the Brisbane Broncos of a few years ago, just before finals, slapping the pokes the night before a big final. That's what she looks like.
Oh, geez. Well, let's hope that her season doesn't derail as much as the Broncos have this year. And let's see where she actually ends up at the end of the spring. She could be a Cox Plate horse, mate.
She is one of my favourites.
Yeah,
and rightfully so.
Rightfully so. She very well should be, picking her at $12 in one of our biggest races, one of the biggest races in the world, biggest 2-year-old race in the world.
Well said. Your words, not mine.
Yeah, but how have you been, mate? What's been going on? This last week, was the weekend eventful?
Mate, not too much. Been playing a lot of golf recently.
Yep.
Played by myself at the Balimba Par 3, which is basically a pitch and putt. We played night golf there.
Yeah.
it was daytime, so it wasn't night golf. But as you well know there, the greens there are quite elevated.
Yes.
Very tough to land them on. First 2 holes, landed right on there. I was like, oh, hello.
Look
'Cause
out.
I basically took one club that I've been I cannot hit it to save myself on the course. So I'm like, and about where I really struggled was from like 60 to 80 meters out, trying to hit it on the green. And because that shot is currently not in my bag. This course is perfect for that. And it's like basically just working on all those shots. No consistency. I don't think I walked away any the wiser.
That's the thing about golf. Some days you walk away from,
Man.
you know, a game and you're like, I think I very well could be worse than what I was when I first started. Very unforgiving, as they say.
Well, it pays well. How about bloody Cam Smith? Securing the bag.
Is he the richest man in the world with a mullet?
Oh, hello. I'm trying to think of like rappers or actors or something.
No, he's. I think
he might be.
the mullet's a pretty exclusive trend at the moment to Australians.
Yeah.
Is he the highest paid Australian athlete now?
I don't know. Ryan Pappenhausen? Patton Hughes?
I don't know if Paps is earning that sort of money. He's got a few NFTs.
He's got some NFTs. He's got some business interests. He's into horse racing.
He is an equine enthusiast. Little Pappy.
Well,
Shout
maybe
out, Pap. Jump on the podcast one day.
Well, maybe we ask him the question, Pap. What's your net worth?
Are you reaching Cameron Smith levels of net worth? And no, not the Queensland great.
No.
The other Queensland great.
Not your ex-teammate.
We just produce really high quality Cam Smiths in this state.
We do.
Yeah.
We definitely do. But what did he sign for? Like 140 million or something?
Something absolutely absurd. Something absolutely absurd.
I don't think... imagine going to the tab with him or, you know, going to the pub with him, just having a few.
Do you reckon he'd enjoy a punt on the ponies? Or do you reckon he's more of like a dish lickers guy? He is from Ipswich, isn't he?
I think so.
Or Logan,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
But
Look, I hate to generalise. I'd really hate to. But from what I've gathered in my short life is that people from the outer suburbs more into the trots and the dish lickers as opposed to the sport of kings, might I say? Thoroughbred racing? Is that a big generalisation? I'd hate to generalise.
No. Yeah, you're not. I feel like that's underplaying it.
Well, mate, speaking of outer suburbs, I was well and truly in the outer suburbs over the weekend. I was in Mount Tamborine over the weekend, Drifters. Lovely part of the world.
I don't think I've ever been.
It is nice. It's like Gold Coast hinterlands, like, you know, but mountain-esque.
Sure.
So on the Saturday, as you do when you're exploring territory outside of Brisbane, you know, you're out of town, you're out of the city, you're like, okay, cool, it's a Saturday lunchtime. Where's the closest local?
Yeah, sure.
So we ask around and there's the suggestions you go to the Bearded Dragon. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm there. And, you know, I'll go for a sneaky palmy, perhaps a steak and a punt because it's a Saturday.
It makes sense.
It makes absolute sense. So anyway, we're driving down there and it's one of those pubs where the signs advertising the pub start probably about 2 kilometres before the pub's actually there.
Hello.
So you've got the cold beer, great meals.
Hot meals,
yeah. Live music. I'm thinking this is all sounding really positive. Next one, alpacas.
Hello.
Excellent.
Okay.
Cane toad racing.
Oh.
It was at this point that there was a foreboding sense of dread that started to, you know, fill me up because
Oh, no.
I didn't see a sign saying, firstly, pokies,
Oh, no.
or secondly, and more importantly to yours truly, TAB.
Yeah.
So we're driving in and I was like, oh, I just got a sneaking suspicion they don't have a TAB at this venue. Anyway, charge in. Like, get a fucking park ASAP. So I can charge in there, walk in at the please wait to be seated section. What do you call the person who's like at the front of the restaurant, front of house? Concierge, whatever. Poor young girl. Just looked at it dead in the eye and said, where's your TAB?
Yeah. Where's your Sky Racing channel now? I need it.
and she just had a look of complete dumbfoundedness. It was
no.
I was like, to watch horse racing, and she sort of looked me up and down. She said, "Oh no, we don't do any of that stuff here."
Oh.
And I collapsed on the floor. Had to be resuscitated by my lovely partner G, and I had no reception, mate.
Oh, so you couldn't watch it through
I
your
couldn't
Neds
watch
app.
it on my Neds app, mate.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking for you.
So what I want to know, Drifters, and that's a long-winded story, but have you ever been in a situation where you've just really wanted to watch the ponies and you've really wanted to have the punt, but you just haven't had access to the punt?
And might I say, there's so many ways to access it these days. And
Yeah.
Neds have made it even easier for you.
They really have.
And might I say, the quality is sensational. It actually looks like it's 4K through the app.
And I'd say some of the talent that they've acquired as well for
Well
their
said.
live app,
Yeah,
really top notch.
well said.
But yeah, so the Bearded Dragon, get a fucking TAB.
Oh, honestly. Or just reception. Figure it out.
Can you please?
Wi-Fi. Something.
Next time I go there, it's just a big tower, like
Yeah.
telecommunications tower in the middle of the pub.
Oh, honestly. Well, the Bearded Dragon aside, yeah, mate. Horse racing on the weekend. Did anyone catch your eye? Snap Dancer thoughts?
Yeah, Snap Dancer with the residual fitness from the tiara. Mate, if she was 3 wide to trip in the tiara over 1,400 metres, I thought she ran out of her skin there. And I reckon she probably slightly peaked on that in the Memsy. I thought she was a winning chance. She was single fingers. Fair enough. Look, I thought she was tough. Look, race was run to suit. There was a lot of things resuming.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I thought she was a worthy winner. Well done to Matt Dolan.
Yes. Early season, honestly.
Honestly.
Early season, spring, just follow him.
Yeah, just follow him.
He's top of the Group 1. I'm actually last now. I reckon that's the first time I've ever been last.
Oh, mate, early days. Don't
Yeah, I
worry
know.
about it.
Yeah, I won't. I don't think we've actually mentioned this. So we're doing a Group 1 tally, right? We've been doing it on our Instagram basically for,
Yeah.
I don't know, since we've started 2 years, whatever. But the stakes have actually increased this year.
There's never been a prize for the winner, and there's never been a punishment for the loser.
No, but that's changed this year.
is.
And I believe it was your thought, child, which I thought for you.
I was texting. No, because I was texting Brad like simultaneously while we were texting in the group chat, and there was a few suggestions coming through, and I was just like,
No.
I was like, I want to see some punishment. Like, I saw red, and I was like, I want there to be serious repercussions because, man, when you think about it, and like, sorry again to pick on your dollar. You've gone through the entire year, and there's a sample size of how many Group 1s do we have? Like plus the Everest or some
75-ish.
something like that. That's a good enough sample size
To get your eye in.
To get your eye in, but also like you've had a fucking shocking year on the punt.
Yeah.
And you should be punished for that.
Yeah. So I believe last year, if it wasn't Dolab, I reckon it might have been Corb.
Yeah, either one of those two.
Yeah, so they're currently the cellar dwellers.
Yeah.
I reckon it might have been Dolab the year prior.
Perhaps,
So he has
yeah.
form in the bottom 2, the
Yeah.
bottom 1.
But yeah.
So
yeah.
what's the punishment?
Well, so we decided that the loser of the On the Drift Punt Club Group 1 tally should get a tattoo of the winner's initials anywhere on their body, I'd say, wherever they want to. Like they can get a little teardrop tattoo if they want.
Yep.
And then next to it, the horse head emoji that you get on your phone. So you know when you write horse in your phone and 2 emojis pop up. One of them is for the full thoroughbred. One's like almost like the pantomime horse, just the head.
Yeah.
That's got to be next to it. And it can be like, it can be like that big. Like it really doesn't matter.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what
They're the stakes.
that's the stakes. The stakes are high now.
They are.
And I'm a guy. I'm not a tattoo guy. Like, look at me. I'm a puss. Like, really. Like, I'm not a tattoo guy.
And are we talking anywhere on your body, but I'd say like fingernail size?
I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing
Like,
crazy.
nah,
Yeah.
no.
Like, 20-cent coin, 10-cent coin type operation. It doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, by the end of this season, one member of our punk club, one of their buttocks is going to have a tattoo on it.
I don't know. I might.
A buttock?
Well, it'll be irrelevant because it won't be me. It might be, I reckon, like a premiership ankle tattoo.
Yeah, yeah, like on the inside of the ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're the stakes, drifters. So, yeah, it will be. And imagine if the drifter of the week came last, right? And all of them have to get a tattoo themselves.
Every single listener has to get a tatty, and we want proof.
That have come on the podcast because they're responsible. No one else is.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to come on.
No. There's no drifter of the week this week.
Yeah, sometimes if you put your balls on the table, an axe comes swinging down.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's a game we play. Yeah. We're high stakes guys.
Yeah.
We're gamblers.
Yes.
Side note, any horses for you that stood out? Any resuming horses in the Memsey?
I thought Cascadian was brilliant.
Cascadian was strong.
Like, he's been trialling super. I think that's the best he's ever gone first up.
He was strong first up.
So I believe they've locked down the Champions Mile for him.
Yeah, good target. Yeah.
So instead of the McKinnon, whatever that's called now, the Champions 2,000 metre, they go just stick him at the mile, Flemington, big track horse. He never does that well at Caulfield, but he was
sharp. He was sharp.
Dragon Leap was interesting.
Yep.
That New Zealand form, that could be proved to be some of the form of the spring.
Perhaps.
Imperatriz?
Yeah, the mare. She's won like 5 on the bounce or something like that.
So she's coming here for one run and one run only. That's in the Golden Eagle or the Empire Rose. Same day, so it's like, well, okay. Basically, Melody Bell 2.0 drifters. Think of it like that. But so she beat Dragon Leap 2 starts ago. Dragon Leap comes out, runs 4th in the Memsey, but still doesn't win. Oh, he loses by like 3 to 4 lengths. But I Wish I Win got beaten by Dragon Leap as well. I Wish I Win was huge. Moods, and that was one of the biggest betting plunges I've ever seen land. $10 into 250.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Huge.
So the stable was all over it like a rash.
Yeah, well, Moods, he says he doesn't know how to punt. It's like, I think he might be taking the piss there, Moods.
Yeah, I think he might be joshing us.
Moods. But I thought I'm Thunderstruck. Now, this is an interesting horse to talk about because he's not one of yours, but I thought he might have proved a few doubting Thomases.
Doubting Thomases?
Wrong.
Oh, look, to be honest, I was, after the race, I went through his form and, yeah, for the life of me, I couldn't see an open Group 1 weight for age victory in his form.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen one. No. Like, in all honesty, that was a great return. He'll win a good race this prep.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he'll win like the Underwood or something on the way through.
Yeah, I can see him winning. Just depending who else is in the race. Like I don't know. What are the next mile races coming up? Maccabi Diva or George Main or something like that.
Yeah, so I think I reckon he'll go Maccabi Diva to Underwood, Might and Power, whatever. Unless they're the same race, I can't remember. But if they're the same, then so be it. Don't sue me. I think he's having 3 more runs into the Cox Plate, basically.
Yeah.
And then he'll be cherry ripe for Cox Plate Day.
Yeah, well, that was by far and away his best resuming run. I think he'll win a Group 1 weight for age race this spring. He's still not one of mine just because of you'll see him charge home late a lot. I think, but if he can sit closer and be more dynamic, then yeah.
I think he kind of proved that in the All-Star Mile a little bit.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have to be right out the back. And listening to Mick Price as well about him, he was saying basically he's way more forward this prep. And he was basically as fat as a bus when he finished his prep last prep. He was basically like that whole prep, you just put a line through it because he was just never fit. It's because he put on about 100 kilos in the paddock.
Yeah, he got big.
He got real big real quick. But hey, when you win the Golden Eagle. I feel like you can do what you want in your.
He's done his job as a gelding. He's done his job as a gelding. Like he's not producing any progeny, so he just needs to win a stack of prize money.
Well, he wears OTI silk, so he's got about 1,000 owners.
Yeah,
so all of them would be stoked. But yeah, I thought I'm Thunderstruck, Cascadian, Dragon Leap out of the Jewess was good as well.
Yep.
They were the main ones for me.
Yeah, I thought Jackie was good in that race. He's just come back a more mature horse.
Yeah, Tijuana's the 3-year-old I'm very interested in.
Yeah, where did it run in that race?
Ran third.
Yeah,
but he missed the start by 3 lengths.
Yeah, and
he's versatile as well. He's basically his first couple of runs, he's led the entire way at Flemington over 1,400, which is not easy to do. And then he even showed a better turn of foot coming from the back. So I'm like, ooh, that horse has...
That was eye-catching, wasn't it?
Versatility. So I think his target will be the Caulfield Guineas. So early markets, I think he's still around $15. So I think he's probably the horse I would want to be on at this stage.
Yeah. There's a few casualties this week in the world of racing.
Isn't there?
Yeah. Injuries and like Kaibu, Uncommon James, State of Rest has been retired.
Yeah, it's been
Tafani's been retired.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Bit
of a shame.
It is. But what about this weekend's racing, mate? Should we go through? I think there's 4 undercard races at on the weekend at each track.
Yeah.
So why don't we start at Randwick?
Let's do that.
All right, let's do that. Let's go to the Concord. So Eduardo resumes here. Just a rising 9-year-old now. Far out.
Crazy, hey?
Only 27 starts for him.
Yeah, well, he didn't start until he was nearly 5 years old. Eduardo. He's been good since then.
Bloody oath, yeah. So 11 wins, 27 starts. That's a hell of a strike rate.
Yeah.
So this is set weights and penalties. Apologies. He's got 60.5 kilos. You got Masked Crusader at $7.50. And track conditions, Ronnie Dufficy on Twitter says it will be a heavy track. Even though it's like, I look at the radar, I'm like, oh, there's not much rain there, but I think it's just waterlogged.
Shock me, another wet track in Sydney. What do we think, Eduardo? Over 1,000 metres? Just too sharp for these? Who gives a shit about the weight?
I think, 1,000 Well, yeah, 1,000 metres.
Yeah.
Weights don't really mean much to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know the horse who I think can run a race here at a big price?
Yeah.
So if I was having a Ned's same race multi, I would be putting this thing in your first 4. He's rocketing by number 9. Great run second up last start. Wasn't too far off him. That was the showmanship form. I think that form might stand up. That was Group 3. I think he was an outside chance in Stain Sides.
Yeah, right.
Slipper, I believe. It might have been that year or it might have been the year before. I can't remember. Looking at his age, probably not actually. But anyway, but yeah, I think he's just taken a little bit to mature, but I feel like he's come back a different horse this prep. Still think Eduardo, Masked Crusader, and probably Andermatt are the horses that, will fill out the trifecta, but he's the one that could run. He could run a place.
Could run a little sneaky. Big price.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, look, for me, I think Eduardo wins that. I'm not going to dive in at $2 though.
No. What about the Furious Stakes?
Mate, this is a good race.
It is.
Really good race. We'll get a really good understanding of where the fillies are at.
Maybe.
3-year-olds, gee whiz. Such a tough crop to find. The only one that stood out was bloody Fireburn. After what She's Extreme did to Fireburn in that last race, which was the Champagne Stakes, I just don't know if I can ever forgive that horse.
I agree.
She could win this though. Keen to see how She's a Belter goes. We backed her up here in the JJ.
No wet form for her. So
no wet form. She wants it dry, I think. Paris Dior's got wet form. I backed her on day 2 of the championships and she got there by a schnozzer. In secret, people argue she should have beat Zoo Gotcha last start. There was a little bit of held up for a run, but I think Zugotcha still would have won. If Insuket wins this, then form franked of that last race, and I'd be all over Zugotcha in the flight stakes like a rash drifters. But yeah, which way are you leaning, mate? It's probably more of a watch race for me.
Yeah, I've got Paris Dior as one of my bets of the day.
Yep.
Not my bet of the day, but one of my bets of the day. I just feel like Snowden's with their 2-year-olds, they know what they've got. They've got a couple in here, obviously. But with her, she had the one run throughout the autumn, then they put her out. So, you know what? I reckon this might be a springtime filly. And her trials are take them or leave them, but hers were sensational.
Snowden's, mate, they're on fire at the moment as well. So they've got a couple in this race. Yeah, look, I'm a fan of Paris Dior. I might have something spec.
Yeah, I think so. Tramway, race 7, you got Zaki as $1.80 favourite with the good people at Ned's.
Yeah, look, he should be winning this race, I think, Zaki. But I'll tell you what, Profondo was huge last start. Interesting they're keeping him at 1,400 metres. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, and they've already scratched from the Chelmsford, which was over a mile, so might need another run. No idea, not a horse trainer. But I don't even know if they'll run him if it's another wet deck. I just don't think he goes a yard at all.
Yeah, I think after the autumn, we saw what happened there. Just completely derailed his prep. Yeah. I think just try and save him for the dry decks. So might not even run again this prep if that's the case. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Who knows?
Yeah, look, Zaki for me is the one there. And he's logging a bit of weight. 1,400 metres isn't his go, but I think he's dynamic enough.
Won the race last year. Was super. I thought the value runner in this race was number 7, Nimmerly. If you can forgive what she did first up, which was putrid, she's $19 with Neds at the moment. Again, same race multis, all that good stuff. Top 4, I reckon she could definitely do that, because I'm not sure Colding doesn't go a yard in heavy at all. He needs a bone dry. Fondo's probably the same boat. He's second favourite. Converge chops and changes. This is his first real test against Open Company as well. And fucking ice bath. Please. She's got 53 kilos because she's never done anything in a big race.
No, she hasn't.
That's unfair. She's never won a big race. She's definitely done stuff.
Yeah,
But she's not one of mine.
Hope you're in each way better with her.
Okay, Chelmsford, race 8.
Mate, good race as well. Interesting race. Other horses with bigger fish to fry. If Mwanga doesn't run well on this, what do they do with him?
He
goes to stud?
Fucking.
He's
fucking
Mwanga.
Yeah.
And make credit to him.
Yeah, he's earned it,
He's earned it, you know. If he's done, he's done. He's got a date with the paddock and the paddock's got a date with him.
He's going to have a barn with his big old name all over it.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, look, I agree. He's by Savabeel. He's got the right pedigree, bloodlines. He'll be good at stud, mate. Yeah, but $6. I don't know if I'm diving in on those odds with Neds. Surefire, interesting runner for me. Was awesome first up over 1,400 metres, and I think he only ran between 2,000 and 24 last prep. So for him to
at Ascot, pretty sure.
Yeah, so for him to race like that over that distance, surely he's got like a Metropolitan or something like that written all over him.
Yeah, I think so, or even a Caulfield Cup.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He's starting $3.70 favourite here with Neds. If he wins this, because this is a handy field, gee whiz, you're gonna get some short odds in futures.
Yeah, it is a handy field, but it is a lot of resuming stays as well.
Yeah.
I think the sticky horse for me, who I'm going to include in my bets of the day, is number 2, Numerian. So he won the Q22, I believe.
He did.
Throughout the Brisbane winter. Got that residual fitness, can go in the heavy, knows no other way, will be out there just doing the hard stuff out front. And if it is leaderish on the day, $10 with Neds, I think that is overs.
Bang. Montefilia returns. Will she go to another level? this prep. We'll have to wait and see. She obviously is 4 Group 1 wins now. So she's on a Cups path.
We didn't really see anything with her with that Queen Elizabeth run, which I tipped her in.
Yeah, you did. That's crazy. Right. Yeah.
But we didn't really learn anything from that race because it was just
put a big red cross through that race.
But before that, she knocked off V in the Randwick.
Yeah.
So it's like, she could be anything.
Yeah. Benno as well. So they were talking to Johnny O'Shea on TV last week, and I think Richo was like, Caulfield Cup? And Johnny O'Shea's like, don't know about that. We'll see. I think Benno could be a great Metropolitan horse.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Down in the weights, bang.
Down in the weights, down in class.
Yeah, it's a Group 2.
Like, the Metropolitan is a class of Group 1, but it's a Group 2 field.
Yeah.
Like, it's like all the heavy hitters are going to the Caulfield Cup. So you got the second raters, and he is a bloody genuine horse.
He's a genuine horse, Benno. He finished off really well last start.
Yeah, gotcha. And every time he stepped up to that Derby distance, he's been fantastic.
Sure has.
I believe that's all we have at...
Yep, we're going across the valley.
We're going to the valley.
The Fian, race 4, 6 acceptors.
Yeah, it's tough stuff, isn't it?
Mm.
For a place in the Cox Plate,
yeah,
it's a really disappointing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So, and of this field, right, Spanish Mission, even if he wins, there's no way he's going to the Cox Plate.
No.
Moods was saying today on RSM, basically, this could be his final run before the Melbourne Cup. Yeah. Apparently that's how well he's going, and I think he's figured him out or whatever. I don't know. But Melbourne Cup's his aim. Mr. Brightside, they've been like, he's the $2 favourite. Sound, bloody Sound.
See, it sounds 10 years old.
Yeah, he's
still got his nuts. Sorry, he's 9 years old. Still got his nuts.
Yeah, but he lobs up on the Moonee Valley Cup each year.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a Group 2. But
he's not winning this.
I don't think he's winning this. Earlswood could win this.
Yep.
We've only seen him once down here, I believe. Well, at least last prep. And then he did an injury, so he's coming off an injury. Forgot You as a Moonee Valley specialist.
I think he could win.
Yeah, could win. But first up, I don't know. Mr. Bryside's got the fitness, and then Inspirational Girl.
There you go.
I think she wants it dry.
She wants to dry.
Everything that runs in those silks needs it dry.
Coming from Western Australia, they're not wet trackers over there.
It makes sense, mate.
It makes complete sense to me.
But yeah, I think Mr. Brightside wins.
I think he does, yeah. I think he does. So he'll be in the Cox Plate, but he's not a Cox Plate horse. Yeah, take that futures price, dickhead.
He hasn't even won the race yet. What about the McEwen? This is a cracking field.
This is a great race. My best of the days in this race. And that's number 2 in the Congo.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I'm taking on Cool and Gut Up because, as we saw on the weekend, that transition from 2 to 3, she's obviously in this race, 50 kegs, light as a feather. She's been trialling a bomb. She wants it dry, I think, mate. That's the key with her. She ran 3rd in a slipper on wet, but I think that's just because she was a developed 2-year-old, mate.
Yeah.
And that race, like...
Against your own age, wet form means nothing.
Mate, she's taking on the big boys and girls now. And in the Congo, mate, that pressure cooker of the Galaxy first up where he ran 3rd, he was enormous. I tipped him in the all age because of that. And he was into prep there. He didn't want to be there. And I can't blame him. I was like, in the Congo, if you don't want to be there, that's fine. You've raced on too many heavy decks.
Yeah.
But mate, first up in this, there's going to be a lot of pressure up front. I reckon he's one who can absorb it. So yeah, in the Congo, he's $4.80 with Neds. He's my best of the day.
Wow. There you go. I was not expecting that. I thought you were a Cool and Gatter guy.
I'm a Cool and Gatter guy. I like Cool and Gatter a lot.
Yeah.
She was my slipper horse.
Yep.
She ran a good 3rd. Look, I still think she'll feature in like a Moya or something like that, and I may very well tip her there. But just in this race, like I just feel like you need to be a bit of a bull in this particular race, and I think in the Congo's got bull written all over him.
For whatever reason, I didn't mind Rothfire.
Rothy, would love to see him win.
Yeah. The Inferno's a fantastic fresh horse. Don't know about the soft deck for him either, but he flies around the valley. Favourite track. I don't know, he's just always running on. And apparently you need to be leading on the weekend of Moonee Valley.
Jeez, he'll look good. He'll look good.
So basically, what the track manager was saying today was basically from the rail to 5 metres out, all new ground, that's where the best ground will be, i.e. there's only going to be probably 2, maybe 3 lanes.
Yeah.
I.e. you cannot run them down out wide.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you need to be
up on pace. And you want to be in the first couple pairs on the fence.
Yeah. So that's how that's going to play. But we'll wait and see. Atlantic Jewel Stakes, first leg of the quaddie. I was actually happy that last leg's not in the quaddie. Can get a bit sticky, you know.
That's a real capital F job field.
Yeah.
Oh, you're up this week as well.
I am.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So first leg of the quaddie, this is where my best bet of the day lands.
Oh, I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Where are you leaning?
I like what I'm seeing from Mick Price at the moment and Michael Kent Jr.
Mate, apart from elation, the stable's on fire.
Well, I love Mick Price coming out of that ride. He was like, with that run, that horse would have run last in a mile maiden. It's like, and he's better than that. Jamie Carr reckons she's the best horse she's ever ridden. It's like, okay, Mick.
Is that what Jamie Carr said about him?
Yep.
Best horse she's ever ridden.
Could be the best horse she's ever ridden.
Holy dooly, that's saying something. She's ridden some good ones.
Zaki.
Yep. Cascadian.
Cascadian. She's ridden better ones than that.
Yeah. Nature Strip.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Yeah, right. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I think forgive for that one. Anyway, sorry, mate.
No, that's fine.
You like what you're seeing from the Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. stable at the moment?
I am. And you might be thinking, hey, but, Hacho, weren't you saying that premierships aren't won in August? And you're quite correct. But hey, they're still racing to be bet on in what will now be September. But these guys have absolutely dominated the last couple months.
Yeah, they have.
And I thought that this filly, number 3, I'm Loving Ya, has some talent. Basically, she only had the one run throughout she didn't even run throughout the autumn. She basically had a summer prep. She came back super. She finished third behind Bound for Home and Ojai. But she was pulling her silly head off.
She was, yeah.
Throughout the run. I think she can, if she's got her manners in check here, the Valley might suit, but she has won at Flemington. So if she proves to be a Flemington horse, then so be it. But I reckon if she can settle in that first half of the field, she'll go mighty close.
Mate, I like her as well this weekend. Yeah. I'm loving you. So, yeah, let's just wait and see what happens.
We will. No drift through the week this week because there's no Group 1 racing.
Yep.
But there will be another tipping comp this weekend. From that, I'm assuming we're going Moonee Valley.
Yeah, we can go either or, mate. Up to you. We can even, we can do both. Oh, it's probably too much work for the drifters. But, yeah, either or. Maybe we could just do a quick story. And see what the drifters prefer.
We've done that before.
We sure have.
You're a thinking man.
Yep,
and
got to use his enormous head for something.
So, just obviously, if you don't know by now, then what the hell are you doing? So, greatest tipping comp of all time. You got some Ned's merch. You have some bareback biltong. Separately, if you wanted to purchase some bareback biltong, go to barebackbiltong.com.au. Drifters 20 code on screen. But you can also win the Drifters cord hat. You got some Gage Roads piss.
Gage Roads products as well. There's plenty to win. Socks, stubby coolers, lots of hats. So, yeah, well worth the effort of putting in your tips. A little cooler bag as well for your 6-pack.
All the good stuff,
Yeah, so thanks to our sponsors.
Yeah, thank you so much. But, yeah, that will be up later this week. The other thing, this will be more of a social push, but if you've made it to the 40-minute mark of this podcast, then just keep an eye on YouTube.
Keep an eye on YouTube this weekend.
It might be this weekend. I'd say we're probably leaning towards yes.
I think we're probably about a 75% yes.
Yeah. But could be a stream.
Could be a live stream of us watching racing. Like the racing's obviously not going to be on YouTube because we're not at liberty to do that.
No.
We'll get in so much trouble. But, if you want to watch a couple of punters who can get quite lively watching racing, and if you're watching the racing at home and you want to sit alongside someone else, by all means, switch onto YouTube. We'll live stream. It should probably happen this weekend. I'd say probably the quaddie legs, maybe a bit before. We'll see how we go.
I'd say we might kick off around 2:30 or 3.
Yeah.
When I think Sydney, would be the first leg, but we'll probably do Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne, just because Melbourne finishes so bloody late. But yeah, then we'll just have a look at the mounting yards, give us the thoughts before the race, around the room, but also talk some smack as well.
Yeah. Come along for the journey and, ride that wave with us because for the most part, we fall off our surfboard and get absolutely dunked. But sometimes we can just glide in and that's a good feeling. So come along for the journey, drifters.
Surfboard.
Yeah.
Have you ever surfed?
Ride that wave. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've done it once. Nearly died.
You're not an ocean guy, are you?
I love going in for a dip.
Yeah, real firm footing type operator.
Yeah, but I need to be waist deep. I can't be swimming for my life.
Yeah, well, there's someone who we've spoken about on this podcast previously who's petrified of sharks.
Yes, he is.
Not Mick sharks, the sharks in the ocean.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's fallen into that same sort of category with you, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Prefers that dry land.
Yeah. And some of us are just land beasts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. No, I completely understand what you're saying.
All right. Well, that's about it. 40 minutes is far too long for a non-Group 1 meeting. But we'll see you next week. We'll see you on the weekend if you join us for the live stream. Hooroo.
Best of luck, drifters. Bye-bye.